It's 40,000 years ago. You are 19 years old. Tonight, your band meets another group by the river. Somewhere in that crowd is the person you marry. You scan the faces, but faces barely matter here. Nobody picks a partner by a pretty jawline. They choose by smell, by skill, by family ties. So how did ancient humans actually pick a mate? Start with the sense nobody mentions: smell. In 1995, biologist Klaus Wedekind ran a strange test. At the University of Bern, men wore plain shirts, 2 nights each. No soap, no cologne. Then women smelled those shirts inside identical boxes. The women leaned toward one kind of scent. They preferred men whose immune genes differed from theirs. These genes are called the MHC. They help the body fight off disease. 2 parents with different MHC make tougher children. Those kids resist more infections and survive more often. The women never knew they were reading genetics. Their nose did the math through smell alone. 40,000 years ago, the nose ran everything. No perfume, no showers, just bodies near fire. A scent that felt right meant a healthier baby. But smell only started things. Survival decided them. In that same camp, food was the daily problem. A partner who could feed a family mattered most. Anthropologist Frank Marlowe lived with the Hadza in Tanzania. They still hunt and gather like our deep ancestors. He asked the women what they wanted in a husband. Looks ranked low. Hunting skill ranked near the top. A strong hunter brought meat the whole camp ate. That meat fed her children and earned her allies. His reputation as a provider traveled between camps. People knew who tracked well and who failed. A symmetric face could not feed a hungry toddler. But meat was only part of the story. Most days, the steady calories came from women. Hadza women dig deep tubers children cannot reach. Kristen Hawkes measured how much they bring back. Their gathering feeds the camp when hunts fail. So a capable woman was a prized partner too. Her skill with roots and berries kept children alive. Hawkes found that grandmothers mattered too. An older woman still dug food for her grandchildren. Her work let her daughter raise more babies. A family with strong grandmothers raised stronger children. Marrying into that family was a real advantage. Then comes the force that shaped everything: family ties. Marriage was rarely 2 people choosing in private. It joined 2 groups who needed each other. In 1949, Claude Lévi-Strauss wrote about this. He saw marriage as an alliance between groups. One band gave a daughter, another gave protection. These exchanges built networks across empty land. A wedding turned strangers into relatives you could trust. When drought hit, those relatives shared their water. When raiders came, those relatives arrived with spears. So elders cared a great deal who married whom. They weighed which family hunted well and shared fairly. A handsome stranger with no useful kin meant little. In many groups, a man had to earn the marriage. Anthropologists call this bride service. He moved in with her family for years. He hunted for them and proved he could provide. Only then did her parents accept the match. No amount of charm could shorten that test. A lazy man was rejected long before the wedding. Love still existed. Helen Fisher's brain scans show it. But love worked inside a network of obligations. People still advertised their worth through objects. Travel to Sungir in Russia 34,000 years ago. 2 children were buried there under heavy ornament. Their grave held over 10,000 ivory beads. Each bead took close to an hour to carve. That is years of labor sewn onto clothing. Beads like these marked a family's standing and skill. At Blombos Cave in South Africa, the finds run older. People drilled shell beads around 75,000 years ago. They ground red ochre and stored it. Worn on the skin, these objects announced your worth. A row of beads said this family provides. A courting man might bring ochre, shells, carved bone. The gift proved patience, craft, and trade connections. That signal outweighed any strong jawline. Remember, these camps were small. Robin Dunbar found a natural group size near 150. You knew every face from the day you were born. You knew their parents, their tempers, their history. A pretty stranger almost never walked into camp. You chose from people whose whole lives you knew. Now put it together. Picture the riverside gathering. Two bands meet when the seasons allow travel. They trade blades, share meat, and tell stories. A young woman notices a man across the fire. The wind shifts, and she catches his scent. Something about it settles right in her body. She watches how he moves and where he sits. Others say he tracked an eland for 2 days. He carries a blade he shaped and polished himself. He offers her a string of pierced shells. Her mother studies his family. Do they share food? Her uncle asks what alliance this match would build. The families talk through the night and agree. 2 people marry, and 2 groups gain insurance. Attraction started it. Survival and kinship finished it. And it did not always last a lifetime. Helen Fisher studied divorce across 58 societies. She found a pattern. Many splits came around year 4. That matches how far apart forager children are born. A bond strong enough to raise 1 child through infancy. After that, many people paired again with someone new. This was serial monogamy, common among foragers. So a person might choose a partner several times. Each time, scent, skill, and kin were weighed again. You kept picking partners well into old age. So when did looks start to dominate? The shift tracks with farming. Around 10,000 years ago, people settled, stored grain, and claimed land. Wealth could now be inherited and displayed. Status drifted from skill toward property and birth. Bodies became canvases for cloth, paint, and gold. Cities packed thousands of strangers together. You could no longer know everyone's hunting record. So a quick signal, like a face, mattered more. A clear face hinted at youth and health. Among strangers, that shortcut paid off. Our focus on looks grew from crowds and property. For most of our history, none of that existed. Your partner was someone your group already knew. You judged them by scent, skill, and kin. You judged them by years of shared survival. The face came last, behind what kept you alive. Helen Fisher argues those old circuits still fire. We still feel pulled by a scent we cannot name. We still trust people who provide and show up. We still care what families think of a match. The river gatherings vanished. The instincts stayed. Next time attraction feels strange, remember the camp. 40,000 years ago, your ancestors were choosing, and almost none of it was about looks.